So, Assalamualaikum everyone, especially to you, ma'am. My name is Asim Rhea Mukhalid, and today I will discuss the constitutional authoritarianism. So, si Ferdinand Marcos naging presidente noong 1965. Noong 1967, nagkaroon ng plano na baguhin ang 1935 Constitution, kaya tinawag ang isang constitutional convention. Pero bago pa matapos ang convention, nagdeklara si Marcos ng martial law dahil daw sa communist threat. So dito nagsimula yung authoritarian role ni Marcos. Gumamit siya ng constitutional process. Kunwari may convention para baguhin ang constitution, pero sa totoo, siya pa rin yung nagdikta kung ano ang ilagay. Kaya kahit may democratic facade, hawak pa rin ni Marcos ang power. So, proposed parliamentary government. Dapat ang sistema ay parliamentary, may National Assembly at may Prime Minister na tunay na head of government. So, ang president ceremonial lang ang parang symbol. So, kung susundin yung nakasulat, dapat parliamentary system na tayo noon, pero ang nangyari, hindi ito nasunod dahil si Marcos gumawa ng paraan para siya pa rin yung may hawak ng both legislative at executive powers. So, ratification ng Constitution 1973, si Marcos naglabas ng Presidential Decree number 73 para mag-plebiscite sana. So, pero kinancel niya kasi natakot siyang matalo. So, instead, gumawa siya ng citizen assemblies kung saan tao lang nagtaas ng kamay. So, January 1973, dineclare niya na ratified na ang Constitution. So, hindi totoo ang free ang plebiscite. Ginamit lang yung citizen assemblies para palabasin na sang-ayon ang tao kahit sa totoo pressured at controlled yun. So, mga amendments sa 1973 Constitution, 1976 Marcos pinayagan pa rin i-continue ang martial law. Plus, siya na rin ang Prime Minister. So, 1980, retirement age ng judiciary, tinaas ng 70 years old. So, 1981, binalik semi-presidential system, pero power ng presidente balik pa rin kay Marcos. So, 1984, abolish executive committee at binalik ang vice president. So, kahit nagkaroon ng amendments, halata na laging in favor kay Marcos. Hindi talaga siya naging parliamentary. So, kundi presidential authoritarian system pa rin. So, opposition and Aquino assassination. So, in 1983, so, Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr., pinatay nung bumalik siya from exile. Naging spark ito ng people power movement. Nagkaroon ng snap elections 1986 na puno ng dayaan. So, resulta, EDSA Revolution at si Cory Aquino naging presidente. So yung assassination ni Ninoy, ang turning point dito talaga nagising ang tao from fear, naging united yung opposition hanggang bumagsak si Marcos sa EDSA Revolution. So, 1987 Constitution, gumawa ng bagong Constitution under Cory Aquino. Freedom Constitution 1986 muna hanggang dinadraft yung dinadraft yung bago. So 1987 Constitution adopted on February 2, 1987. So para makalaya sa legacy ng dictatorship, gumawa ng panibagong Constitution si Cory Aquino at ito yung ginagamit natin hanggang ngayon. So feature of 1987 Constitution. Number 1 is democratic and Republican state sovereignty ay nasa tao. Separation of power, executive, legislative, judiciary, co-equal branches. So number 3 is executive president, may 6 years, no re-election, martial law, max 6 days lang, at may checks from Congress and Supreme Court. Legislative, bicameral, Senate, and House of Representative. So may party list system para sa marginalized groups. So judiciary, Supreme Court plus lower courts, appointment through judicial and bar council. So independent commissions, CSC, COMELEC, COA, Office of the Ombudsman, Anti-Corruption. So dito makikita na naglagay ng maraming safeguards ang framers para hindi na maulit yung abuse ng martial law. Lahat may checks and a balance na. So changing the constitution, amendments, revision. So as Congress acting as Constitution Assembly, Constitutional Convention with elected delegates, people initiative by petition of 12% voters. So ito yung tatlong paraan kung paano pwede baguhin ang Constitution, pero lahat dapat dumaan sa plebiscite. Ibig sabihin, taong bayan pa rin ang final na mag-approve. So impeachment, House of Representative mag-initiate, Senate magta-trial. So parang check din ito sa mga top officials. Kapag may abuso, pwede silang ma-impeach, lalo na ang presidente, justices, at iba pang mataas na officials. So yun lang po. Thank you.